Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another card video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm going to be using a brand new stencil from Simon. This is from their latest release, and this is a stencil that I designed, so I'm really excited to use it today. So I have some Neenah Solar White cardstock here. This is the 80-pound version, and it is cut to be the same size as a regular card. So it is 4 1/4 wide by 5 1/2 tall, and I'm taping on that stencil from the underside so that I can blend all the way to the edge and I won't have any of the tape covering up the edges. I'm using some Distress Oxide inks today, and the first color I'm using is Antique Linen. I'm using a mini round blending foam tool for this, and I absolutely love how the Distress Oxide inks blend. They blend like butter. They just glide across your cardstock, and most of the time, in order to get a really smooth blend like this with regular Distress inks, you'd have to use like a Bristol paper or something like that. But just on regular cardstock, the Distress Oxide inks glide across the surface just really smoothly. They're great for blending. So I'm blending this on the side of the card front here. This will be the card front eventually. Then I cleaned off that stencil. I'm going to use the stencil as the only tool today. So I'm taping this on, and I'm going to be isolating two areas in the stencil, these kind of like leaf shapes. So I'm using Cracked Pistachio. I'm going to bring that in and blend from the top of the leaf coming down. Then I'm going to blend the other leaf that's over the surface of my cardstock here. So I'm working on two leaves at the moment. The next color is Lucky Clover, and I'm blending that from the bottom of the leaf. And I realized as I was blending these that these colors look pretty similar when they're blended next to each other. So I thought it would be nice to bring in a third color. So that's when I grabbed some peeled paint. And this is going to give it just a little bit more of a yellowy cast. And I'm going to do that just from one side of the leaf, from the bottom. And just blend in a little bit of that color. This is going to give the leaf a little bit more interest. I really like to mix different shades of a color. That really adds something special to things like this. You can do the same method with watercolor, like if you're coloring leaves, try mixing a couple different shades of green. I think it really livens things up. So I wanted to create sort of a shape that would be a flower. So I thought the interior area of this stencil would be great for that. So I'm starting out with picked raspberry, and I'm blending just from one side and making sure I'm getting that coming into the center. Then I grabbed Fired Brick, and this is more of a toned red, well, exactly like the name suggests, it's more of a brick color. So I'm bringing that in from the other side. And originally I was only going to use those two colors, but then I decided to bring in some Wilted Violet as well. So I'm blending that in. And I did clean the stencil in between all these different colorways. I just used a baby wipe to wipe it off, and that Distress Oxide ink comes off really easily off the surface of the stencil. So now I have all my pieces, so I'm going to start cutting them out. So like I said before, I'm isolating different areas of that stencil design so that I can create my own scene of flowers, or a flower and two leaves. So I'm cutting out those leaf shapes. I'm making sure that no color is on the edge of that white area. This is a little bit of some fussy cutting, so it's a little bit time consuming, but I think the result is definitely worth the effort. So my card base today is made out of some Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. So the white of the card base will match the white of the blending piece that I've been working on. I just scored that at 5 1/2 to create a top folding card, and then added some Tombow Extreme adhesive on the back of that large blended piece and pressed it down onto the card front. I then put foam adhesive on the back of the leaves, and I first adhered the leaves and I kind of held that flower in place, and then I put 2 layers of foam tape on that flower so that it would pop up from the surface even more so than the leaves. I'm going to place that right over top. And that finishes the card for today. Super simple and easy. I did not put a greeting on this card so that I could send it for any occasion. So this is part of a blog hop for Simon Says Stamp's latest release. If you want to see more products from the release, make sure you head over to my blog. And there's also a giveaway over there, so you want to check that out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.